Alright, so I decided to make this video on the spur of the whim. I don't know if that's a phrase that is a thing. On the spur of a whim? Is that a thing? What am I thinking of? Oh, I'm thinking of, I'm combining on a whim and spur of the moment. Okay, so this is a spur of the moment video. I made this video on a whim, hence why I kind of look not the best. Normally when I don't record, I look like this. And when I do record, I make myself look better. But anyways, no intro. I have spoke Portuguese for 100 days in a row. It's on my shorts, on the shorts side of my channel. It's called A Palavra Do Dia. And it's basically where I have a word in Portuguese that I try to explain what it is, and then I reveal it in English. So if you're learning Portuguese, that's a great resource to practice every day. And it's a good resource for me to learn Portuguese and to practice speaking. So not only do I learn words in Portuguese, but I reinforce it by describing it. And I also learn how to speak more clearly and just overall better. And this video is going to be comprised of two parts, really. One is a reflection of what I've learned over the last 100 days. And the other is just something that I want to do. I want to go back to my first A Palavra Do Dia just to just to see what I was like 100 days ago and how much I've improved. So I want to react to that and also show you guys my first one and then my 100th one. So that'll be cool for you guys to see the progress and just to show you how much 100 days of practice can make a difference. Anyways, let's get started. Firstly, something that I want to note is that speaking for 100 days in a row, it really builds your confidence. If you do it consistently, then you will think that you're better at it. And when you go to talk with natives, it'll be easier for you to gather the courage to actually talk with them because you've spoken for 100 days. You know how to do this, you know how it works, you've been uncomfortable speaking and you've learned from it. That is something that I did not expect going into it. I just did it so that I could practice every day. I didn't know where it would lead me, but I figured why not put out low effort content every day on my shorts channel just for Brazilians to see how I'm progressing and to give people who are learning Portuguese some resources. So this was completely unexpected for me. I did not expect after day 100 to have so much more confidence going into a conversation than I did 100 days ago. I would like to say that my vocabulary was expanded. It did get larger, but not to the degree to which I thought. I mean, overall, I really did only learn 100 words. And in the realm of languages, that is not a lot at all, unless it's a common word. But most of mine weren't common because I already know the common words. How else would I be able to describe them? So it honestly didn't do that much for my vocabulary. I would say watching TV shows did more for my vocabulary than that, but it still did improve my vocabulary nonetheless. And something great about A Palavra Do Dia that I did was because I posted it on the internet, you had viewers comment, or Brazilians comment, here's what I did wrong, here's what I can do better next time. And that is so helpful. So if you're Brazilian watching this, thank you. And secondly, keep on doing that because I really do appreciate your comments just overall on how I can improve speaking Portuguese. And to be honest, I don't really know if my speaking actually got better. I know my confidence grew more than I thought it would, but I don't know if my speaking actually got better. I'm gonna check the first one and compare it to my latest one, and we're gonna see how that goes. Actually, on day 97 or 98, I had the best A Palavra Do Dia I've ever had. I don't remember which word I was describing, but it was just flawless, and I was so happy after I did that.
Pincel é algo que você usa quando você quer pintar. Então você vai pintar alguma coisa, você vai pegar seu pincel e você vai começar pintando. Essa palavra em inglês é paintbrush. Oh, tô muito bom. Sou pica, mano. Meu português é ótimo, mano. Eu tô pronto para viajar pro Brasil. Tô muito animado. Tchau, tchau.
My Portuguese is getting better. Okay, anyways, I'm gonna look at my first one and then I'll look at my last one and I'll compare the two. Okay, this is my first one ever, so let's see how this went. Oh man.
E isso é o português palavra do dia. A palavra é pingo.
Pingo.
E pingo é quando você tem pouco água. Em inglês, essa palavra
that's it?
é drop. Obrigado, tenha bom dia, tchau.
Like I said earlier, I didn't think that my Portuguese improved that much, and I don't think it did, but I did notice that my Portuguese did improve some, especially like when I said gosto instead of gosto, like an open throat and closed throat difference. Like I'm much better at speaking Portuguese with an open throat now. Let me go to A Palavra Do Dia like 11 or 12 when I get tired of these and just kind of start making them without, making sure they're perfect or whatever. We'll go 12.
Você quer viajar pro outro país. E em uma mala você vai ter roupas e dinheiro e passaporte.
I also think that my earlier ones, I was much less adept at coming up with a new word to say. Like now I can just kind of rattle it off and talk. Where here, I had to pause in between some words just to think of the right word. I don't really do that as much anymore. Secondly, I feel like I sound a lot more Brazilian now than I did before, because here, for example, I said vai ter roupas, and when it should be vai ter roupas. It's a subtle difference. I didn't improve that much, because when you get to my level, it's much harder to improve a little bit than it was when you first begin learning. That's with anything. It is interesting because I am able to see where I used to be worse than I am now compared to where I am now. So let's take a look at my first one, or not my first one, my latest one, just to show you the difference.
E aí, gente, tudo bem? A palavra do dia hoje é massa. Massa é algo que você tem quando você quer fazer pão. Então, ontem eu fiz pão, e não sei a palavra específica, mas eu fiz pão e eu precisava colocar a massa no forno. Então, massa em inglês é dough. É isso, gente. Tenha bom dia. Tchau.
So in this one, I still struggle to come up with the right words sometimes, but even still, I feel like I sounded a lot more Brazilian, even though it took me, the same amount of time to come up with very specific words like específico or forno. It still sounded more Portuguese than it did before, mainly I think because I'm getting accustomed to the way that Brazilians speak, because I did it for 100 days. Maybe not so much my actual ability to speak got better, but talking in the way that natives in that language talk could have gotten a lot better. That's it for my analysis. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I'll see you guys in another video. Good luck learning your languages, and I recommend trying this just to see if you find any results. Anyways, have a great day. Ciao.